And what you need to do is go ahead and pop this little rubber piece out of your cartomizer before you start prepping it. As you can see inside of the cartomizer, you can see our coil, which is dual coil 1.0. So we're going to go ahead and get this prepped up. What you want to do is you want to pretty much open your bottle of juice, make sure that tip is on there. And typically you want to drip about 20 drops in there, 25 drops just to be safe. So we're going to go ahead, count on our drops. And what you'll notice is when you start to filling it, it'll start to build up in here. You just need to wait for it just to go ahead and dissipate into the actual coil itself. So we're going to go ahead and refill again. Once again, doing a nice little mental note of the count, so how many drops. Just going ahead, get in there, getting nice and soaked. And eventually what you'll start to see is actual drippage from the bottom. That usually does indicate that you have put too much juice, but you always want to do an extra test. And what we always recommend our customers to do is actually to hold this bottom tip here. As you can see, there is a smaller hole right here on the side. And what you need to do is about 5 times you need to go ahead and blow on the actual metal piece right here, just so some of the excess juice actually comes out. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate for you. All right. And typically when you're doing this setup, you want to maybe have some paper towels just because the oil does get around a lot of places, but it doesn't actually stain your clothes, which is pretty cool to me. So we're going to go ahead and wipe this off a little bit. We're going to check it again. What I normally do is sometimes I'll usually give it just that last extra 5 drops just to be safe. You always want to maybe be a little bit over when you're doing juice rather than under because you don't want your actual vape to taste all burnt and nasty. No one wants that. Trust me. No one wants that. So we're going to go ahead and put a couple more drops. All right. So after we've done this step, then our next step is to actually take our tube tank, and we always want to make sure the rigid side is going facing down. Push down on here, like so. And you want to leave just a little room about halfway. And the reason for that is so that we can actually fill the tank itself. So typically you want to kind of just keep this tilted to the side, and you want to keep this kind of pointed up. And you want to go ahead and just slowly fill. And when you see it getting to the top, the actual cartomizer, you can go ahead and push up and continue to fill like this. Push up a little bit more and fill. So, as you can see, our tank is already full. Once you're all done, you keep pushing up like so. And what you want to do is you always want to make sure you want to clean up any excess juices that are around. Don't want it getting everywhere. So, definitely don't want that. All right. Okay. So pretty much once you've done this step, what you want to go ahead and do now is take our tube sock and actually put it on the battery first. This tube sock is pretty much just a nice little nifty bracket, so it doesn't have that little skeleton look right there in the middle. So you want to go ahead and screw it on. I would always suggest screwing it on from right here, the actual cartomizer, just because the tube tank will spin on itself. So you want to go ahead and just turn that. Make sure it's nice and tight. All right. We always want to, of course, make sure our pass-through is covered up so it's not damaged. Now, sometimes you will have extra juice all over your actual vaporizer. Again, it's always great to have a paper towel right here by your side so you can go ahead and just clean it up so you don't have all that oil on your hands. Now, just for example purposes, when your vape actually starts to blink or actually doesn't turn on, this means the battery is actually being exhausted. So that pretty much means what you need to do is actually change out the battery. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what a charged battery looks like. As you can see, the light turns on just fine. So that means our battery is all charged. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go back a step for you guys and show you how to properly put on a drip tip. Drip tip is very simple to put on. All you do is simply just put it right here where the cartomizer opening is and just push down. Simple like that, clicks right on. And as you can see, we have our full unit all complete. And of course, after you complete it, you must test it. So let's test it to make sure it doesn't taste burnt or anything else. That's some good vaping.